It is now with immense pleasure, I would now like to introduce Dr. Vijay Kulkarni, sir. Dr. Vijay Kulkarni, sir, very good morning. Can you hear us?
Yeah, sir. Good morning to each one of you, sir. Thank you so much. I'm sorry.
Not at all a problem. Let me introduce you real quick. That's fine.
Sure.
Dr. Vijay Kulkarni, sir, has post-graduation in various disciplines such as MBA, MCOM, MMS, MSW, and PhD in management. Recently, he was awarded honorary PhD for his contribution in the field of education. He has 30 years of experience in education and development. He is a recognized PhD guide in various universities in India. To name a few are Shri Jagdish Prasad, Jhabarmal, Tibarwala University in Rajasthan, Singhania University, Rajasthan, Pacific University, Rajasthan, Manav Bharati University, Solan, Himachal Pradesh, PhD referee on expert panel member, Dr. D.Y. Patil University, Ajinkya D.Y. Patil University, Pune. So far, 11 scholars have been awarded PhD under his guidance, and presently 6 scholars are pursuing PhD under him. Sir has also published more than 50 papers in all leading journals, UGC Care and Scopus Journal. His book on basics of research will be published in this academic year. Also received Radhika Apte Award for securing highest marks at his post-graduation from SPPU, Best Professor Award, Best Teacher Award, to name a few. We Care Award for the social commitment. Recently, he is awarded with London Book of World Records for his contribution in the field of awareness generation for prevention of COVID. He is working on editorial board of renewed international journals. He is appointed on advisory board of research, the FAVCOST University, Brazil. He is also associated with American National University in the capacity of guide for the PhD program. He is life member of NIPM, the National Body of Management. He has represented India as chief guest on different international bodies such as SDG Global, Global Brazil, etc. In the recent past, he has been invited by the London School as panelist in international conference. He has worked as director in management, and at present he is professor and HOD, Center for Research at Ajinkya D.Y. Patil University. Very warm welcome, Dr. Vijay Kulkarni, sir. Extremely delighted to have you this morning. You may please go ahead with your presentation.
Thank you so much, Dr. Manoj Jain, sir.
Thank you.
It's my privilege and honor to be with you on this special occasion and interact with you. My special thanks are to the Arts, Commerce and Science College, Naranggaon, who have initiated and organized this conference in collaboration with the global research. And as far as maybe say all other dignitaries and conference secretaries are concerned, Dr. Neha Puranik ma'am, Dr. Prakash Divakaran sir, Dr. Jiva Shitole sir, the chairman of this conference, and Dr. J.B. Bhosle sir, director of this conference. Thanks to each one of you for inviting me and providing me an opportunity to interacting with you. I was carefully listening to my earlier speaker, Dr. Manoj Krishna sir. And I was trying to gather that in what way I should maybe say interact or address as far as the challenges and sustainability is concerned. While going through the letter of invitee, it was very clear that when it comes to the education and to per se the higher education, what kind of challenges we are facing and how education and sustainability can go hand in hand. In this context, I have tried to go through maybe say available literature, and I believe as far as this pandemic is a concern, we are going through the challenges day and out, and we are also trying to overcome those challenges at a different point of time. I happen to be invited guest speaker in one of the international forum in recent past, and it was conducted in the Philippines. So there I have put forth my views as far as the pandemic and educational challenges faced by Indian colleges, or maybe say Indian higher education system were concerned. So I will try and link what I have observed as far as the challenges are concerned, and also I will try and confine myself to the sustainability of business practices and challenges in higher education with different discipline, as the subject of conference itself insists upon. So I have prepared maybe say PPT, but instead of taking you through PPT, I believe that it would be more easy to interact and confine with the time span which is given to me by Dr. Divakaran sir. Is that fine, Dr. Divakaran sir? If I am not taking them through PPT, is it okay? I will share PPT.
Yeah, that you can decide, sir. You can either go with the PPT and it will be beneficial for the participants to go through that.
Okay, so if I want to share PPT in that case, then I maybe say I will share the PPT.
Yeah, share screen availability is there.
Yeah.
From there you can upload.
Yeah, I will do that quickly. Okay, so straight I will take you to the next slide.
It is not at open, sir. Please open it.
Yeah, I can see it here, but
okay. Manoj, is it visible?
No, sir.
Probably we will see it
your
now.
screen we can see, but the 29th September is the presentation, right?
Yeah, but now is it visible now, sir?
It's not open. Only
it is open. You have to open that.
Sir, it is open and I can see it at my end. I have clicked on it when I have, shared my screen.
Okay. Okay, I think there is a problem for putting that. So anyway, you start the presentation, sir. No issue. You can close the presentation and you can start speaking. No issue.
In that case, I have to say that, stop share screening because I have shared screen.
Okay, stop share screen.
So as there are basic questions as far as the sustainability is concerned, and the challenges which are posed in front of say higher education. As it is an international conference, we will be trying to divide maybe say presentation in two things. One thing is that what kind of challenges are faced in Indian scenario, and second thing is that what kind of challenges are posed to Indian higher education at a global level. So as far as the sustainability and pandemic is concerned, I believe that first of all we need to understand what is the challenge or what is the overview of education in India. As all of us are highly educated and even the participants are highly educated and learned, it is really a challenge for me to interact with you on a given subject. Now, second thing is that how I am going to sustain. So if I look at the subject and I try to put forth my views, then as far as the education system in India is concerned, we agree and we accept that it is a deep-rooted system in Indian ethos, and it contributes directly to transform the India. So purpose of education is bringing transformation in the
Thank you, sir.
Indian system. Second thing is that when we talk about sustainability, sustainability is very, very important as far as the equitability is concerned. If we try and connect it with the equability, then only we can, think of sustainability. And vibrant knowledge and vibrant societies, these two things are very, very important as far as education is concerned. In addition to this, whenever we talk about education, then we always keep on talking about the quality education, and we do talk about maybe say high quality education to all. And thereby we claim that we will be in position to be say a global knowledge superpower. If we talk today, then we are no more called as, say, developing country. Now we are a developed country. And when it comes to the superpower, naturally, maybe say America is called as a superpower. But it won't, in what context they are called and how education is related to maybe say American system. When I say America, America is a nation per se which I'm referring, but there are many other countries in world who are highly influenced as far as the education is concerned. When we talk about challenges and sustainability, second important thing is that we need to keep in mind the pedagogy and curriculum, which is ultimately very, very important aspect. As far as my own university is concerned, we say that Ajinkya Devai Patil Innovation University. What is innovation all about? So you try to do something different than what others are doing. And here, and in this context, we need to remind ourselves that if I am a college, then I am affiliated to a university, whether it is a state university. If it is a state university, then state university has also its own curricula. Then what kind of role I as an educational institute is going to play as far as the innovation is concerned? I'm trying to maybe say refer to the innovation for the very reason that if we can innovate, then definitely we can sustain. We need to ensure that we are trying to overcome the challenges, right? So as far as the curricula and pedagogy is concerned, institute must develop deep sense of respect towards it. First of all, I'm a teacher. So when I enter into class, what I say is that I believe in learning from students. And thereby, students are inclined to interact. If I put this in this way, that if we see students' participation during this pandemic and that too on the online classes, then we have to try and ensure that they are participating in it. Maybe say registration, that is students maybe, you may see there that there are say 60 participants or 80 participants. They have registered, they have joined, but are they participating? Are we really delivering to them? So in education system, all these things are going to be very, very important. And in the changing scenario, the roles and responsibilities are also changed. I'm talking about a teacher. I'm trying to maybe say, refer to myself. So what we have to try and find out is where the intellect stands, what is the requirement, can we develop the knowledge, can we develop the skills, can we develop the values, and what kind of the responsible support we are providing to them. When I say to them, two things are again required to be taken into consideration. Sir, at one hand, there is a university, and on the other hand, there are institutes. So in the institute point of view, what kind of support would be required? Why I'm referring to pandemic, as all of us know that it is almost 2 years. And all of a sudden when the situation was arised, or we were forced to maybe say, go through this pandemic, many institutions have had no basic infrastructure which was required to deliver the classes through online mode. And what I'm referring to, as far as the data available in public domain is concerned, during first 6 month time, more than 74% institutions were not able to deliver to the students. More than 34% of the education in the higher education system were closed down. I am just referring to the data which is available in public domain. What is the reason? I am trying to find out kind of challenges which are faced and posed by say different interventions. When we interact with students, because I don't believe using word teaching. So when we interact with students, there is a concept called PESTEL, and probably you being a learned teachers and learned, learned scholars and experienced teachers, you know that what it stands for. that all of a sudden anything can happen, which may be, say, when it comes to pestle, is related to a political, economical, social, and technological. What is it all about? Either the changes takes place or challenges are posed. And then in that, I have deliberately not said anything as far as E is concerned. E is related to environment. So in present situation, maybe say pandemic is a part of environmental challenge which has been posed to us. How we are going to sustain through it. So that is a very important thing. And in this situation, sustainable development is very, very important. Sustainable development, it is related to the living, it is related to the global well-being, and it is ultimately reflected as a true globally citizen. If we can do that, then probably we will be able to overcome few challenges. What is sustainability all about? Because I refer to again, maybe say Dr. Krishna sir, who has given a very simple example. I'm saying simple examples. Simple examples are always easy to digest, easy to understand, easy to relate, or maybe say correlate. He has given example of maybe say pain, and he has tried to relate it to the cost. And if you want to remain a brand in a competitive market, and what things are required to be taken care of. So in that point of view, he has tried to connect it with the challenges and sustainability of product. Here, we as an educational institute, we are trying to find out what are the challenges. And before that, if I try to ask myself, what is sustainability all about? Or if in one word, I request you to just describe what is a sustainability, then can anyone of, or may I request any one of you to just contribute to the thought process that what is sustainability all about? How do we understand sustainability, or what we expect when we talk about sustainability? I request any one of you to please speak if you want, or if you want, you can even put your thoughts in chat box. I can click and quickly go through it and see it. So that it will be a communication, or maybe say two-way process of exchanging thoughts and ideas.
Sir, that which exists, or that which will be retained forever, for future also. That is one connotation. Another one is it should not be against environment.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Krishna sir. Thank you for contributing. See, basically my purpose was to try and understand, and usually when we try and understand any terms, I believe that first I need to understand it in layman's point of view, and then we can move towards the a learned people. I believe that I am a layman, and in my point of view, what I'm narrating you may not find it anywhere in the public domain. In my point of view, sustainability is nothing but, at first instance, trying to identify a solution to the given problem in the best possible way. And if you can do that, then from there you will try and find out. It is going to be trial and error, with the help of which you will try to establish and do, and then will say that this is what is sustainability all about. Right? Very simple example. Other day I was not feeling well, and I went to Dr. Manoj Kumar Jain, and I said, sir, will you please give me some medicine? So Dr. Manoj Kumar Jain, being a practicing doctor, he said, okay, please tell me, what are your problems? So in first instance, what he tried to do is, he tried to understand what is my problem or what are my concerns. So I said, sir, other day I have traveled. Driver was not available. I drove my car, say, for almost 300 kilometers. And then next day, early morning, I returned back to Pune. So headache, and, I'm feeling uneasy. He asked me a few questions, trying to find out whether I am having any, medicine as such, or whether I am under medicine. And I said, so no, sir, I don't have any other problem than this. Then he gave me some medicine, and by afternoon I felt, relaxed. Evening I call him back. I gave him feedback, sir. Thank you so much for giving me medicine. And he said, by any chance, if you have any problem, please come back to me after 3 days. So if in 1 day or one dose, I feel relaxed, then probably, that dose can be continued to sustain in the same mode. Many example kind of this can be given. So when it comes to sustainability, basically it is how sustainability describes how a system remains diverse and productive. Diverse and productive. These two words are very important. Diverse is that we need to keep on, trying and exploring all the time. Even if I talk about education, if I claim that I am a teacher and I have been teaching to the students, maybe say for last almost 3 decades, I may not require to refer to the current knowledge, current books. Then I will, it will be my blunder mistake as far as the things are concerned. So what is required? I need to remain diverse and productive. I need to update all the time. I need to maintain, as far as the sustainability is concerned, then long-term maintenance of well-being of, I am referring to ecology, economy, politics, and cultural dimensions. By any chance, if we feel that, are they related to the education system? Yes, sir. Because here we talk about technological education, then management education, then, different themes have been incorporated as far as our international conference is concerned. And you must be aware about the fact that education for sustainable development is the agenda of world, which emphasize including the key sustainable development issues. And in that, teaching and learning has been, focused as one of very important aspects. Teaching and learning. Who is America? Who is UNICEF? Who are this USD? But the things are discussed at international level, things are discussed at global level, and that is where I, wholeheartedly thank the organizer for inviting and organizing the international conference on the very, very important aspect of sustainability. So education is a key for the sustainable development, and in this teaching learning process has again, focused upon is very, very important. So in other words, if I'm teaching, I need to know that, am I required to bring in any changes in my own teaching? Teaching learning pedagogy. I should be open to learn. I cannot claim that over 30 years of experience, I have learned a lot, and tomorrow onwards, I don't want any consultation from Dr. Divakaran. I would require it. The thing is that, if I don't know anything, then I would approach to Dr. called Divakaran. I would approach to Dr. called Dr. Manoj. And in the same way, even students sitting in the class, they are also equally learning. They may not be able to put forth their views and ideas in articulated manner. It doesn't mean that we cannot learn from them. So what is required is efforts are required to find out the effective pedagogy to ensure the participatory teaching and learning method, which will motivate and empower future leaders, that is our students, and it will also ensure that sustainability in the system increases. Sustainability in the system. Education is industry, education is a system, and in system we need to find out who are the stakeholders. And if we can make happy our stakeholders, then definitely we can sustain. Sir, now we need to think beyond pass and fail. So what percentage I have secured is important. But if I say it is immaterial, if I am not in position to apply it to the reality of life, then even a so-called, I quote, maybe say illiterate a person is going to be, a more effective and impressive as far as the management is concerned. So effectiveness of teaching learning programs and their pedagogical approach needs to be satisfactory. One more thing I would like to highlight, that important to review the existing program. See, we being arts, commerce and science college, see, I have gone through it and I have realized that over a period of time, maybe say right from 43 students to 2,500 students. If I want to draw a curve and try and find, understand myself, that from 43 to 2,500, how we have reached? It means that we were also innovative in nature. We have also tried to identify what are the gaps. We have also tried to, maybe say improvise as far as the program delivery is concerned. Maybe say communication is a concern. Organizing different programs are concerned. Inviting maybe say parents on campus is a concern. Ensuring that students' participation is increasing. They are delegated with different responsibilities. I am not going to go into details. You would be in better position if you want to assess, or if we want to assess that from how we have reached from 43 to 2,500. It looks very simple, but it is not as simple as maybe say I read it in a word. Now I would like to bring back you to one important aspect of it. For how many minutes I can continue? What's time left with me? Will you please tell me? So accordingly, I will try either to wrap up or, take it further. Sir, should I, Manoj sir?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay.
Please continue.
Okay, sir. So,
9 more minutes are there for you, sir. 9 more
Okay.
minutes.
9 minutes, na? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So as far as maybe say, higher education is concerned, utmost and important thing is that we should know that what are the silent features of our higher education. What is that higher education meant for? It is for the recognizing, identifying and fostering the unique capabilities of each student. I'm talking about the higher education system and challenge. So what is challenge? That recognizing, identifying and fostering the unique capability of each student. Then flexibility as far as the learner's ability in the teaching learning process is concerned. Then multidisciplinary approach and holistic education. Then emphasis on conceptual understanding. That is where pass fail should not be considered. If conceptual understanding is there, or he will or she will be surely enjoy in his life. Then creativity and critical thinking. Are we trying to develop creativity and critical thinking? Important aspect again, ethics and human and constitutional values. Providing life skills to our educations. We keep on talking about maybe say the soft skills. So life skills related to the communication, teamwork, and cooperation. Then the extensive use of technology. If we can adopt technology and use it extensively, all these are the challenges as far as today's era is concerned. Then diversification and respect to the local context. In management, we keep on referring to maybe say Peter Drucker. But can we look around and try and find out, what are the local context as far as the management is concerned? Can we explain it to them in this way? Yes, it is possible. So relevance of education to the life, that is what we have been talking about. That is also again important. And then fully equity and inclusion. When we say inclusion or inclusive growth, we have two types of stakeholders in the class, that is male and female. Can we try and break the barriers? Can we try and make them more sensitive? Can we synergize the curriculum in such a way that they become more responsive and participative? Nowadays, one very simple concept which is called as light but tight, as far as regulatory frameworks are concerned. Largely people say, oh, Dr. Manoj Jain sir, works for 4 hours and he draws 2 lakh rupees salary. And as far as I am concerned, I work in the field, or maybe say, in agriculture, I work throughout day, and then after that, I am paid 300 rupees a day. And even for that, I need to maybe say, keep on moving from place to place. So when it comes to the regulatory framework, are we following the regulatory framework which allows our own teachers to remain flexible? If we talk about flexibility, then flexibility is important to the teachers. Flexibility is important to the teachers and students. Continuous review should be taken. The progress should be taken, and that progress should be based on the research and education. If we forget the importance of research into education, then I believe that 50% of the state universities and even private universities, they are not treated at a part with the foreign education or foreign universities. Because if we look at the foreign universities, the more research you are carrying out, more you are recognized in the international level. And as far as sustainability is concerned, so investment in a strong and vibrant education system is very, very important. So quality in higher education, then capability on capacity development of students and faculties, then meaningful and satisfaction level work from the students. So these are the important challenges which are faced by the higher education at large. And before I conclude, or before I maybe say give the concluding remarks, I'm sure that all of us, including Dr. Manoj sir and even Arts and Commerce Science College, Narayangaon, all the scholars, all of us are focusing upon all these issues. I'm not saying problems, or maybe say the challenges. And as a worker, if I go to my manager and say, sir, this is what problem I am facing. As far as maybe say I as a teacher is concerned, I go to my principal and say, sir, this is what is problem I am facing. Then Dr. Paul sir, I believe that I being a teacher, I need to find out solution to the problem or a challenge which I have faced. Rather, I go to Dr. Avadut Paul sir, chairman of the secretary, and share with him, sir, this is what challenge I was facing, and I thought that these kind of solutions are there, or we can address this challenge in this way. So I would request your inputs as far as the challenge is concerned. Dr. Paul sir will be more than happy to give his point of view and his thoughts. But if I all the time keep on maybe say blame game or passing on the buck. No, I went to the college and I have realized that there was no electricity in the say class. My dears, that is going to happen because we are living in the rural area. If electricity is going to fail, then what do I do? How I am going to connect back? Am I confined to only those hours from maybe say 9 to 3 or 9 to 5 or whatever college timings are? With the Paul sir permission, can I maybe say schedule my classes? And by any chance, teacher like Dr. Manoj Jain says, is, Paul sir, can I conduct class on Sunday because there is no electricity failure on Sunday, and being a Thursday, rural area is almost shut off. Probably he will give a thought to it. We need to take permission wherever is required, but we have to try and combat with the challenges faced at every single level. And last, that thought of for the day, or maybe say we can chunk about, if we need to remain motivated, we need to remain energized, and we should try and ensure that we are inviting and organizing different programs which are related to the capacity building of all stakeholders. With this, I conclude my thoughts and interactions with you. Pardon me if I have said anything which I should not have said or taken otherwise, by any one of us as a participant. With this, I conclude my interaction, and if you have any question, you are most welcome to ask. I will try and address it, respond it, but I don't claim that I will be able to satisfy your query. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Vijay Kulkarni, for the wonderful speech. So there is a warm welcome to Mr. Godwin Ferguson, IT from Ghana, West Africa, and Mr. Titus Anthony from Bangkok, Thailand. If you can switch your camera on, it will be very grateful. And any questions to Dr. Vijay Kulkarni, you can ask now.
I think I would go ahead with the question for Dr. Vijay Kulkarni sir myself.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed and loved your discussion about the beginning with innovation itself and coming down to the very basics again in teaching and learning system. Only a quick question I have: how, with your massive, gigantic experience in this academic field, how do you compare our education system compared to the education, especially in European and American countries? Because the very reason I ask is I've been 25 years working in industrial sector, and I see a lot of hassle. Though our brains go there and do the masters, and they get a job in the higher to senior management category, but still, what you call credential evaluation, they still consider 2 credits or a year less for the third world countries and Asian countries. Despite they know that there is a bunch of talents, there are brains, and they it is not good to say, but still the brains. So please, if you can put some light on that comparison, I would appreciate that.
Thank you for your such a wonderful and very impressive question as such. But with your question, I'm a little humble as far as my own thoughts and ideas towards this are concerned. Now, there are 2 things, sir, or your question can be divided into 2 things. One thing is that as far as we are concerned, where do we stand? And as far as the international academic education is concerned, where do we stand, or what is the difference, or what is the gap?
Right.
See, first and utmost important thing that which we need to learn and we need to pat ourselves, that if we look back 10 years down the line, as far as education system was concerned, Indian education system was concerned, we have not introduced credit system as such. We were confined to mainly education. That out of 100, Vijay Kulkarni has secured 35 marks. He is passed, and accordingly, he was awarded grade with whatever percentage he or she has secured in his final examination. However, after last 10 years onwards, the situation is changed. Even Indian education is drastically changed. In Indian education system is also changed. Even that is pedagogy and even teaching learning methods have been changed. As far as education system is concerned, if you look back down the line 10 years, barring IIMs and maybe say few other top-notch educational institutes in India, the case study method was hardly adopted. Group discussion was hardly adopted. Maybe say presentations were invited, but again, use of technology was not used to the extent possible. But because this credit system is introduced, these students are in position to earn the credits. And that system is at a par with the foreign system. As far as the foreign system is concerned, suppose I have taken admission in X university in America, and I have completed, say, a 6-month education over there. Then they award me those credits with the certification saying that if it is, say, a bachelor's in a commerce, then they would say that Vijay Kulkarni has completed certificate course in bachelor's. Certificate course in a commerce. And as far as those credits are concerned, as you know, as all of us are teacher, we know that what credit stands for what and how many minimum, teaching learning hours are required as far as the certification is concerned. As the bachelor level course is divided for 3 years, which is going to be, 4 years, in which research is going to be important aspect even in India. So in foreign, this credit-based system is adopted long back, which we have adopted, from foreign universities. And now we are trying to bridge the gap between what they do and where do we stand. And in all this process, research is very, very important aspect. That is how universities are, invited to take different research project, for which huge fund from government is also available. With this, I believe that I have tried to respond and bring in maybe say disparity and even where do we stand as far as the convergence is concerned to bridge that disparity, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for putting some light. I
Thank you,
do
sir.
agree. Thank you.